Oh, peace and quiet at last. Oh, what's that noise? Oh, it's the hamster playing in her cage. Oh, that's the wind outside. Oh, and there's a bird. Oh, hi, children. I was just sitting here quietly, listening to all the different sounds I can hear. Maybe when you get a chance, you could just sit quietly and see what you can hear. Or when you're out having a walk later today, maybe you could stop quietly and see what you could hear. I wonder if you'd hear wind blowing through the trees, or how many birds you might hear twittering and singing. Well, today we're talking all about listening and hearing. And I thought we'd play a game called What's That Sound? So let's get our listening ears on and play the game. Welcome to What's That Sound? We're going to play you a series of sounds. Can you guess what they are? Number 1, what's this sound? Well done if you said jangling keys. Number 2, what's this sound? Yes, it's drums. Number 3, what can you hear? It's jingling bells. Do you recognise this sound? Of course, it's a flushing toilet. What's this sound? It's rustling crisp packets. Number 6, listen carefully. It's somebody whistling. Number 7, does this sound familiar? It's a telephone. What does this sound like? Meh. Yes, it's a sheep. And last but not least, whose voice is this? Hi, children. Of course, it's Lottie. Well done. I hope you enjoyed the game. So in that game, we were listening to and recognising what? Sounds, exactly. And it reminded me of the I am statements that we're going to look at today, which are from John chapter 10, verse 7, which says, I am the gate for the sheep, and John chapter 10, verse 14, which says, I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me, as I know the Father, and the Father knows me. But what is a shepherd? It's someone that looks after sheep. But why do sheep need a shepherd? Well, sheep are lovely and they look very cute, but they're not very clever. If one of them gets a bit spooked or scared or just decides to wander off, the rest of them will follow. And they get into all sorts of antics and difficulties and troubles and danger. And so they need a shepherd to guide them and to show them where the best place to get food from and water, and to keep them safe from any dangers like wolves. And but was Jesus a shepherd? No, he was a carpenter, wasn't he? So What is he talking about? Well, I think Jesus is saying that we are like sheep. Because let's face it, quite often we do follow the wrong things, and we sometimes do things that everybody else is doing because it's really tempting because they're doing it. So we need Jesus to guide us and help us to choose the right choices. So in chapter 10, Jesus talks about his sheep knowing him or knowing his voice, and they recognize it. And in Jesus's time, the shepherds would call their sheep, and the sheep would run to him and follow him. And they would spend so much time together that they would know the shepherd's voice. And if a stranger's voice was heard, they would run away frightened. And I've got a video to demonstrate this for you. So let's take a look.
One more time.
Oh, one is.
Louder!
Tika, 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 tika. Tika, 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 tika. Tika, tika. Tika, tika, tika. Ayoko.
Look at them, look at them.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
They are coming. Oh my God. Woo! Oh my God. I can't believe it. Oh my God. You still heard the voice. Oh my God. This is amazing. One more.
You scared them.
Yeah, Eunice made him go away.
Oh my God.
Was that cool or what?
Oh my God.
You will never have the same again.
Oh my God.
So as we saw in that video, people were calling the sheep, and the sheep were paying no attention. They were carrying on eating and grazing. And then the actual shepherd or farmer called them. And what did all the sheep do? They ran to him because they recognised his voice. And that's what I think Jesus is talking about when he says he is the good shepherd. He wants us to know him so well that we recognise his voice so that we know what to follow and what the right things are to do. But how do we follow Jesus? How do we know his voice? How can we learn what Jesus's voice sounds like? Well, we can learn about what Jesus is like by talking to other Christians, reading the Bible, and also praying and talking to God, Jesus, and listening to what he says to us. And when we know what Jesus is like and what he says in the Bible, then we can hear him in our everyday life. We can realise that actually Jesus wouldn't want me to be mean to this person because they're being mean. He'd want me to be kind. And we then can know Jesus's voice and the right things that Jesus would want us to do. So I guess this week your challenge could be, how many different ways can you learn to hear Jesus's voice? So I will leave that with you. Let's do a prayer and ask Jesus to help us with that this week. So get into your prayer positions and we'll begin. So, dear Jesus, thank you that you are the Good Shepherd who cares for us and loves us. Help us to know your voice and to follow where you lead as you lead us to the best things in life. Right, roll your arms. Amen. So, if you would like more activities on this session, they are on the St John's website page on What's On under Children and Young People's. All the session details are there with lots of different activities for you to do. But that's all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Have a great week. Don't forget to see how many listening tasks you can do or learning tasks you can do to learn Jesus's voice. And I will see you next week. Goodbye, children.